it much better? Okay. So, for those who didn't join us earlier, we talk about when we create content or we do marketing of a destination, it is really about our audience. We did talk a little bit about the three profiles, the Papa, the Muslim lady, and the new age startup unicorn. Yes? So, when it comes to how to create an experience, a destination, incentive destination experience, we need to look at these things. You know, we start with simple ideas, then we add the layers. So, for example, if we were to say, we're gonna do a banquet, a gala dinner for 200 people. So the simple idea is, what are they going to eat? Is it 3-course? Is it buffet? So that is what we call simple ideas. Then we add layers when it comes to AV, when it comes to speakers, when it comes to entertainers, and then we look at also the venue. Okay? So don't be afraid to say, oh my God, I have to do a destination impression of Taiwan to Taiwanese. And then everybody becomes a judge. Do you know Taiwan? Right, you know? So then we also want to limit the number of wow moments in an incentive. So this is the complete opposite. People always talk about, do you have wow moments? Yes, but I can't have it every part of the day. It gets very tiring. I get a heart attack. Wow, 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 wow. So limit. So what you need to do is, for example, if your wow moment, I will always say maybe up to maximum 3 in a day, you do 2. That means 1 during the day and 1 during the night. And then you build your journey to that wow moment. So you are not, you know, 惊吓, you're like, this is wow. No, you're like, oh, it's coming, wow! It's like a fireworks. Yeah? So it's almost like, imagine I'm doing an experience at around Taipei, evening, like Taipei 101, and I say, okay, the story of Taipei 101 is, and then just before they see Taipei 101, and I say, and is this tall, and do you know on the rooftop you can do this and that and whatever, and then the bus drives up and they see Taipei 101, and then you activate and then fireworks. And they say, wow. And then we tell our customers, this is all for you. Because you pay me so much money, I have to spend it. Okay, so you look at the dollar sign first, how much they are paying you, is how much the wow moment is worth. Okay, in the dinner, I always use dinner because it's easy reference to. It's the same thing. Imagine if the dinner singer is Madonna. Do you think Madonna will come at entree? No! Madonna will only come at main course. Right? So maybe you have Jolene singing first, and then Madonna comes up or something like this. So they, oh, Jolene, but for the white people, they're like, who is Jolene? Right? And then all the Taiwanese will be very excited. Oh, Jolene, I love your blonde hair now. That's how she looks at the moment. Blonde hair, right? I do my research. I went to Chen shooting, right? I was looking for things, right? So, and then all the white people will go, oh my God, all the Taiwanese are very excited. This must be someone famous. And then Madonna comes up and then we go, wow. You see? So, limit the wow moments. Focus on the purpose and storytelling. I always say this. It's so easy for me to say Taipei 101. It's big, it's obvious, you can see it from far. Google, you can find it. The more obvious it is, the less people will need you. Because they will say, I can find it. Why do I need you? So you need to say, wow, I have a purpose to bring you to Taipei one and only. And then you tell the story. Okay? So for example, I went to a meeting in Xi'an, China. Have you been to Xi'an? Yes. Oh, terracotta warriors. Bing Ma Yong. So my Mandarin is not good, so. Right? So, now everybody will say, Bing Ma Yong, Bing Ma Yong. Yeah, I was like, yeah. My mother was like, yeah, Bing Ma Yong. And I've never been, right? So I was like, wow. And this, they are quite clever in, whoever that designed the journey for me is quite clever. They did research on me. So, yay! And then I landed into Xi'an. Then they gave me a storyteller. They say, hi, 你好，我是诗诗。I said, 诗诗。Okay, great, 诗诗, alright? And she said, do you know Xi'an is the most feng shui place in China? In Chinese, because my Chinese is so bad, so she's a very good translator. She said that, well, because here everything is very smooth because 我们有靠山. It's all the feng shui, right? 靠山有水 exit road. So it's very easy for someone to straight away say, landed, let's go straight to Bing Ma Yong. He'll be very happy. No, they brought me to a restaurant. And then they said, did you know that in Xi'an, we Xi'an people, we don't like to sit like this for lunch, too close to a stranger. In fact, Xi'an is the only place in China that has the most restaurants with private dining rooms. Because they like to sit far apart. Privacy. Wow. I was like, wow. Okay? So, of course, I had the meeting. I was staying at the Westin in Xi'an. And then she said, Sister said, did you know this Westin is quite special? Because I know hotel brands quite well. They know smoke-free standards and whatever. I know the brand standard quite well. This is an unusual Westin because, see this floor in reception? This is what we call golden brick, which is, well, it's not gold, it's gold. But they call golden brick. This is the 4th place in the entire China that's allowed to use that. The first place is the Forbidden Institute. And you put me in this hotel? Yes. Underneath it is a museum. And it's a private collection of the owner of this hotel. You see, they didn't even tell me how much it would cost me to go to the museum. I already want to go. I said, oh, wow, special mama. Right? So I just said, wow, okay. And then, on the 3rd day, they let me into Bing Ma Yong. They say, you know, we talk about feng shui, we also talk about fate. Because, do you know that this Bing Ma Yong, terracotta warrior, was found in early of the year 1974, 1975, or something like that. It is found by a pauper, a poor person, a farmer. And he found it because instead of turning right, looking for water, he made the wrong turn and he found the terracotta warrior. And because if he had found it maybe 3 or 4 years earlier, it would have been destroyed by the government because of the Cultural Revolution. Ning Zhong Chu. I was like, wow, fated, meant to be. And then you see, when they found the terracotta warrior, you know how they have the squatting archer? The famous one. That's the only one that's squatting. Everybody's standing. Yeah! Everybody's standing except for this one. Okay? Then they say, do you know the right arm of this squatting archer, the shape of his right arm is the shape of Xi'an. Wow! Now that I tell you this story, I'm sure you will consider visiting Xi'an. Yes? Yes? And I thought, wow moment, right? And I thought, wow moment, they can't impress me anymore. I'm really at the top end already. Like meeting the Thai princess. Wow! Then, I usually wake up at 5 in the morning. I've been to a lot of parks in Taipei. Peace Park I went. You know, here I went, there I went, right? So in the morning, I was in Xi'an. I was like, running. And then I saw this old man using a very long spout, like a kettle, and he was doing this. What is he doing? So he was using some liquid to do Chinese writing. Wow. And then as I drew closer, it was quite a hot day. After he wrote like a, like what do you call it, something like that, yeah. After he wrote, it evaporated. And I said, oh! And I was like, trying to string my two Mandarin words together. And I was like, oh, but why do you use water? It evaporates. He said, because it's nature. I feel so shallow. Oh my God, I said, you're so deep. I was like, he said, because nothing lasts forever. You have to be in the moment. Haven't we heard this, living in the moment on social media? FOMO! Fear of missing out. Living the moment, now! But this old man, who I'm sure doesn't have a smartphone, say to me, live in the moment. So, when you focus on purpose and storytelling, you can bring anyone to anywhere. Doesn't have to be just Taipei. I always say this. People always say, what is the new in Singapore? Nothing new. No more land. Sorry. What is new in Sydney, which is my hometown, Sydney, Australia? What is new in Sydney? Nothing. Because we are very lazy, very slow. We don't care. Okay? So I always say the best event planner is the one that can use the same space 20 times and each time it looks different. Then that is a highly skilled event organizer. For example, in Bangkok, yes, we have Wat Room. We have the Temple of Dawn. Wat Room, right? Yes, we love Wat Room because it finished refurbishment. So in the day it's very white. In the night even white. Because very shiny. Right? Yes. So we love it. But for those people who have been to Bangkok many times, if I'm a destination management company and I say, let's go to Temple, they will show me what we call in Bangkok, Mong Bun. Been there. Mong Bun. Look up. Boring. Okay? So how many of you have been to Bangkok? Very good. Have you been to the temple? Yes? One or two maybe, right? Is it hot? Yes. And in Thailand, we've got very strict rule. You have to dress, no shorts, no sleeveless, respect, right? So it's hot plus hot, plus hot, and umbrella into your eye because everybody got umbrella. Everybody be all shy here. We don't get dark, right? So, and then I've got this customer who say, hey, we're going to bring this group of people to Bangkok. I say, okay, fantastic. So I did why and how and those sort of stuff. And I say, for these people, have they been to Bangkok before? Yes, 2 months ago. Right? Come on. I was like, why? They say, oh wow, because we're trying to build out our business there. But we want them to have a different kind of experience. So if you can use existing product and create a different experience, it might help them think differently. Because at the moment, this group of people, very stubborn, stick to their own ways. I said, oh, okay. I said, we bring them to the temple. We bring them to Wa'adu. We bring them to all sorts of temple. And then your challenge is convincing them to go. Because this program, they have the permission not to go. You have to convince them. I said, great. I said, then you have to introduce me on stage at morning tea and I will convince them. If not, I don't charge you. Okay, great. The challenge is on. I was on stage like this, much bigger stage. You know, I was like, Sawadee krab, good morning, yes, right? And I said, today, we're going to bring you on an architecture tour. Because this tour is talking about the foundation of trust. And without technology in the past, you will learn how in Thailand we build temples and grounds that forms a community. We have 85% today. 85% of the people came. The other 15%, they had teleconference today, so they figure out. Okay, so using existing product is okay. Because everybody has been to Kwang, which is a very, very famous museum here. Yeah, it was actually in Bangkok. They actually brought it to the Riverside shopping mall as an exhibition. But it doesn't mean that, oh my god, Kwang again. Kwang 很多人。很多我们的 朋友 from the north, right? I said, don't worry about 朋友 from the north. 朋友 from the north, they love having lunch. So you go during lunchtime, you won't see them. There's always a way around it. Okay, so in my company, which is called Untangled, when we design events, we use 6 very simple, fundamental principles. Because I feel that as a human being, we all love this, especially the top 2, eat and rest. Yes? So as a human being, we love to eat, we love to rest. So when we design experience, the eating part is easy, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or banqueting dinner. Rest is easy. Rest is really about sleeping in the right hotel, sleeping in the right bed, resting your mind, doing meditation or yoga. That is some form of rest. Incubate. Incubate is about forming of ideas. So a meeting is also incubation. Brainstorming is incubation. Working with students is also incubation. Because you are helping them grow an idea or as a person. Energize is easy. It's all about team building activity. Energize. Explore is really about touring. What are we exploring? Where are we going today? And give is everything to do with CSR, giving back. Whether it's giving back to Earth, to the people, to whatever. So when we always push out an event design, we will see whether we can cover all these elements. And then we tell our customer, we will guarantee you 6 of these elements in every part of the program. Okay? So, I'll give you a case study. If you know this destination, don't say it out loud, keep it inside. meditate on it. And I'm not going to mention the destination name until the very end, but I will tell you what I personally experienced and can design, okay? So the brief, we love the brief for those who are professional. Email, we got this brief for you. Hey. Always 2 sentences, nothing else, okay? 20 professionals who live and work in cities, all right? So actually have to bring 20 people, city people. City people are very hard to please. They want Wi-Fi, they want it for free, they want to eat now. Okay, city people, high expectations. Then, these city people are tired of being connected digitally. That means they're enough already. I don't want people to call me, okay? But they have an interest in culture, history, and wellness. I said, okay, that means 神经病. Too much Facebook, too much Instagram, need a break. 要自杀了. Too much. My friends say I'm fat. Okay? They are also wanting to meet a local. Now, because they are sort of like young, like the white lady we showed just now, startup unicorn, they want authentic experiences. Keyword, no? Authentic. They don't want you to bring them to duty-free shop. No. They want authentic experience. So, one of the reasons why I've highlighted all these words in red, because they are our trending words in our industry. Authenticity, go local, culture, history. Isn't it all about incentive? Yes. So, these 20 people will be doing home stays. In each of these villas has, even though they are even though they are refurbished, they have about 200-year history. Each of the villa has between 6 to 7 bedrooms. So, which means that in this area, I broke out 3 of this to feed 20 people because they don't share. Okay? One of the reasons why I chose this is because this sort of houses, as you can see in the middle here, it features a courtyard. Because the rooms are old, it's like old style, even though they are quite modern, they are small. So they won't have a writing desk or whatever. So this is what we call the communal area. But what these 20 people will learn is the fact that they really have to look at the tiles. You see? Some are sort of like this way, crossing, and some are laid square and rectangle. Do you know why? Because anything that is this way, it means public area. Anything that is laid this way is private area, which means that you have to ask for permission before you enter. That is the rules. The house rules. The city people, what? I have to watch out for so many things. We city people, we can be anywhere, we work anywhere. See, they have to obey. But what I'm going to do is, for all the breakfast, they have to have it in the communal area because we do not do room service. And above that, because of wellness, we're going to have different types of meditation each day. It can be yoga, it can be Tai Chi. So this is where they're going to stay for 3 days. Okay? Good start? Maybe you will consider staying too? Yes? Then, they want to meet a local. Okay? So this is an 83-year-old, I beg your pardon, grandma. Okay? And grandmama owns this house. You can see from the top left that it is the same kind of house as the homestay, but not refurbished. So if they want authentic, this is authentic because 60 years ago, her house was the biggest. She has 15 bedrooms, and now she lives alone. Her door is always open. She's always there to tell stories about her husband who passed away 19 years ago. Her 6 children who live away from her because this is a very quiet place. But she would insist that she's the one carrying the tables and chairs to form what they call tea gathering. She doesn't want help. She said, no, this is my house. Sorry. I'm very strong too. That's what she said. You are strong. I am very strong too. Very humbly. Then, what she allowed us to do is to do a local musical performance using her courtyard. So, we took photos of different parts of her house, even the old kitchen that she uses sometimes. This is the living area, there is the courtyard, you know. So she said, I may not have a lot, but I am very content, quite happy. Okay? So this is the evening entertainment. So we went there for storytelling during the day, is what I'm designing. And at night, we're gonna have lighting and whatnot, and have like, whether it's Chinese opera or singing and so forth. Okay? Then, we're gonna visit this area. I think some of you may know where this is, right? But don't say it yet. Because, oh sorry, I usually don't use photo of myself, but I just want to show that I was really there, okay? So this was abundant years ago, many years ago, and they leave it as it is because they have got so much respect of history. They've got so much respect for history, they do not touch other people's things. Because where this place is, a lot of residents years ago moved to the Philippines, moved to Thailand, moved to Malaysia, and moved to Singapore to find a better living. And when they found money, they came back and built things. But during the World War II, things get lost and destroyed, but they still kept it as it is. So the government knows who owns it. Unless someone comes to claim it, they do not touch it. They leave it as it is. So again, how many of you, the younger ones, have seen anything like this? Even the window display has been left untouched. And someone who, I put this on social media for one of my friends, and he thought that I was in Oman. Because of the building. But the reason why they put this sort of like treatment so that the plants don't grow on it. So it becomes bare like this. Okay? Okay. Then we're gonna for one of the experiences, we're gonna talk a little bit about the art of tea. So we would over this place and just to understand where tea comes from and what tea can do to our health. So it's air conditioned. Actually, the lady with the spectacles on the right hand side, that is my mother. And so we can take over this place. It's perfect for 20 people. A local young chef will come in and cook some of their local delicacy for the people to experience. And some of this dish would date back 60 years. Okay? So, Shall we get creative? Where do you think, for those who know, don't say it, but for those who don't know, where do you think this place is? That means all of you know? You know where it is? 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 Yes. You don't know? Oh, yes, because you're tired. Yes, of course. It's Jingmen, right? And what I was I was actually there last week because for the first time I decided to switch off. It was an accident in the first place because I was meant to go to IMAX, but I went to Seoul, Korea for a program. Remember 2 Fridays ago there was typhoon and my plane got diverted to Taipei. And I thought, stop it. Too hard. I called my friends up, I called my business partners up and saying, I'm not going to Vegas this year. I'm going to take a break. So I called up my mother and my partner and say, why don't we fly out? Let's find something somewhere. And then my mother say, I think we should go to Jingmen. I said, oh, Xiamen, Jingmen, which one? Jingmen. It's in Taiwan. I have no idea, right? Because I'm Aussie, you know. I said, okay, what is there to do? She said, actually not much. Not much. I said, great. I can sleep, I can eat, I can read. You see all the sound, the same, sleep, eat, read. I don't have to think. I don't have to see anyone. It was perfect. I said, great, let's go there. We flew there. She arranged, my mother is quite resourceful, arranged for a young taxi driver to pick us up. I said, oh, because when I think about nothing to do, sleep, eat, I naturally think about grandmama. Yes? Because I'm a city-sider. I live in the city, right? And that guy is 28 years old, and he is brilliant. Because he said to us, you might think that Jingmen has nothing. You are right. We don't have anything. Because he said in Mandarin, 我们没烦恼，我们什么都没有，我们没交通。Like traffic is it 交通? Yes. So it's good that we have nothing. Because the young people there, whom I've met 6 of them, and they are sort of friends of each other, they told me that they don't want Jingmen to be overdeveloped because of its natural history. For those who don't know Jingmen, it's also a place whereby people of the same surname live in the same area. So if you say you're from Houshan, it means that you most probably will be from this family, kind of surname. And everybody know each other. So that everybody will check on each other, and that's why grandmama's house door is always open. There are 12 specific surnames in Jingmen, and because traditionally in the past, maybe 100 years ago, there was a scholar that came into Jingmen, and then as part of that, they brought 12 different surnames there, and then propagated. But what we learn is, yes, it's a form of community that we form because of the same surname, but it's also not that healthy because you say, oh, you're not from that surname. I'm from this surname. This surname can't marry that surname because we have an argument. Something like this. But somehow, with these limited resources, they work with each other. They form their community. Okay? So, people might say, a city-sider might say, Jingmen, why? But if I'm a tourism board, I'll be the first to promote it to be one of the most authentic Taiwanese spirit destination in the world. Because they have this distiller, what do you call it, the alcohol they drink? Gao Liang. That Gao Liang support the wealth of the entire island. They will say, we don't have a lot of water, so we can't, seriously, they buy water from China at the moment. And they say we will not have a lot of water, so we can't plant a lot of things. But what we can plant, which is peanuts, we are very proud of. And my best friend is flying in today. She's coming, and I brought with me a packet of Jingmen Kwang just for her because the taste is amazing. So when we think about creating a destination like experience, it doesn't have to be New York, Paris, London, Sydney, no. Because in my opinion, Jingmen is right out there because they have so many money can't buy experience. And for me, the sense of peace when I was spending 3 days there, that for me is the new luxury because I have my sanity back. And for once, I don't have jet lag.